today's YouTube video is gonna be a little different. I'm gonna revisit my setup because a lot of people I'm still getting comments about and questions about the tensor trucks that I was riding. It's like almost a year ago now, those prototypes and everything. So I figured I'd revisit and talk about it a little bit. And I'm just gonna skate, get a little session in. My homie Kevin's here, so film him some, and yeah, I'll get warmed up and then I'll get into talking about the setup a little bit. So let's get it. Oh my God. Old people take a long time to warm up. That includes me because I'm not young. So while I'm on here, I might as well give you guys a tour. This is the wide block. This one, pretty wide. Got the rainbow right here that I ran out of spray paint for. Oh, he's gonna land this one. Oh, that would have been impressive. And then this one, it used to be 2, so it used to be just 14 feet. And then I added, 2 days ago, I put the third one in, so that's why it's not painted. But so now it's 21 feet, and it's much better, much better. Think I'll land this? I'm about to find out. You won't. Oh, there it is. The stair back, dude. Damn, my grip tape has so much freaking wax on it. Or if I could no sled this thing with this in my hand. Yep. Oh, hey-oh. That would have looked cool too. Would have been. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Not quite there yet.
That was buns. Don't let me down, Kev. What the hell? Whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, there we go. My butt cheeks are so clenched. Alright, that's it. Maybe.
You putting on a clinic?
Trucks are grinding like really good.
You putting on a clinic?
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Feeble. Yeah.
Let's let you call out the trick.
No slide pop.
No side pop over?
Yeah.
Oh! Alright, what's next?
Crook pop over.
Oh, God! Oh, take it off. All right, now it's party. Take the sweater off though, too. Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh my God!
Oh,
almost died.
Most slow motion fall. There it is, baby. Oh, now we're talking.
I do that all the time. That's easy.
Yeah, I don't care. That's still sick.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. I'm scared. Oh, let's clean up the front. It's so bad. All right, so the warm-up turned into a full session. Thanks to Kevin. Anyways, all right, so yeah, I know it's been a while since I talked about my setup and what I've been using and everything. Some of it stayed the same, some of it's changed. The trucks have definitely changed a lot. I know I was on prototype tensors before, but anyways, let's start with the board. So right now I'm on this is a homie of mine. I don't know if he's part owner with someone else or not. I'm not sure. But anyways, this company Switch Nolly. Really good boards pressed at PS sticks. So I like this shape a lot. I'm kind of moved down in width to 838. So this was 838 by, I want to say it was right at 32 length. And then the wheelbase was 14 1/4, but I always drill my wheelbases back. So I drilled this one back to 14 flat. The one thing about this board is the nose is a little steeper than what I would normally skate. I typically like a good medium, not a ton of concave. This is like the middle is like how I like, the tail is how I like. The nose is a little bit steeper, which I thought I wouldn't like, but it's actually made a lot of the nose slide variations like really easy. Like there's a lot of tricks I learned on this board that came a lot easier than I thought they would just because of the steepness of it. You kind of can't tell. I don't know, a little bit. You probably can't tell on video, but it's the nose is definitely steep. Okay, so for rails, I'm still always gonna use Lil John's. Homie Corey makes the best rails in the game. It's really not even comparable. Like whatever the material is that he uses is just such high quality. And they last forever. I love his shapes. In the last video, I was on the moth shape. I'm still on that shape. And he makes a shortened version for me, which is like 13.5 inches long. I always request that. Just because my wheelbase is like shorter. So I don't want it to go under my wheel, where my wheels would wheel bite or whatever. It's still the moth shape, but he did change it a little bit. So I don't know if you could see, but he basically rounded the inside edge a little bit more. So it's got more of a radius to it on the inside edge, which is sick because that was the only gripe I had, because the outside edge is super rounded. But the inside edge was kind of sharp. So if you hit like a seam and like a curb or something, it would catch like on, I guess, your back rail, like the inside of it, and it could like rip a rail. And that happened to me a couple of times, but he changed it a little bit and now they're absolutely muddy. They freaking cook. They're like, It slides so fast, so good. Tilts are so easy. That's why I like the really radiused edge. Yeah, so that's what I'm using for rails. And then let's go to, I'll do trucks last. So let's go to wheels. So currently I'm on I've been either riding Dragons or X Formula, like only. I was a big time Spitfire fan for like ever. But the Dragon Formula made like a lot of the crusty spots here in the southeast skatable, and they would slide really well. So I was using Dragons at like crusty spots, but because this spot here that I now skate all the time is so smooth, it's probably the smoothest ground I've ever skated. The Dragons are kind of like unnecessary. I would rather have a little harder wheel. So these are the X97s, Bones X97s. I always get the V1 shape. That's kind of the change that I made. So it's a little bit similar to the conicals that I was riding in the last video, but a little bit more of a smaller contact patch. So go a little bit faster on no slides and stuff like that. It still locks in pretty good. It's not as rounded on the edges as like a Spitfire Classic, but it's, you know, it's good. I like this shape a lot. I think it's the V1. So these are the X97s. They were 53. They're probably now, I've been riding these for a while. They're probably like 51s or something like that. But I do have the X99s on my other board, like my normal board, because I have a curved board and a normal one. The X99s are on my normal one, and I love those wheels. Those are great for this spot in particular because, you know, this ground is real grippy. Even though it's super smooth, it grips a lot. So if you have a soft wheel, even though Dragons and the X97 slide real well, they'll grip a little bit more than like I'd like when I'm doing like no slide 270s and stuff like that. So yeah, those are the wheels I'm on. For bearings, I used to use Bronson Raws a lot. I don't use them anymore. What's on here is Quantum Metallics. I think they're like the TJ Rogers ones. They're pretty good. They've been good to me. I haven't had a problem with the Quantum bearings. But I did move over on my normal board. Like I started skating Bone Swiss, and I had never had a set before, and it was like night and day. It was so like I'd never had really good bearings like that, and they're just money. I used to pop the shields off of everything, but I left the shields on them just because I don't know why I didn't realize this sooner, but you know, when you skate curbs, wax slides, because especially doing so many nose slides, wax slides off the curb and then gets into your bearings, and then eventually it just like locks them up or causes them to wear down prematurely. So I left the shields on, and the shields have actually like kept my bearings for curb skating lasting so much longer. So I'm gonna leave the shields on, especially on the Swiss, because they cost a lot of money. So all right, and to trucks. So I change trucks around a decent amount. Just kind of depends on what I'm feeling. But I was on those Tensor prototypes. As far as I know, I don't know that they're actually going into production, because I think that whole like dwindle distribution or whatever, I don't know if it's gonna last. So I don't know if those trucks are gonna come out. They might, maybe. But I was on slappy trucks for like a long time, and they were really good for curb skating. For my normal board, I always ride Thunders or Ventures. They're pretty similar, but I'll kind of ride one of those two on my normal board. For my curb board, I did switch from slappies. I rode slappies till like I axled them. So I want to say I rode them for like 8 or 9 months or something like that. And I axled them, and then I ended up setting up some Thunders or whatever. And then now I kind of wanted to go back to Ace, since I have 2 setups again, because I did try the thing where I would like try to have rails and everything the same and just have one board, but it's just kind of hard for me to do that. I don't know. Like I can't skate a flat bar with like rails. I'm just not. It just doesn't feel right to me. It's like, it's not that it feels bad. It's just like, I mess up easy things like feeble grinds and Smith grinds and stuff like that. It's probably just because I need to get used to it. But so I have 2 setups, and I figured since I have the trucks that give me the right pop timing on my normal board, I would have something more turny like on my curb board. So these are Ace AF155 lows. Well, actually, I got the normal ones. I got the AF1 hollows because I wanted the hollow axle. And then I got from the, like, you know, they have the JT's chop shop thing. So I got 2 low base plates. So now I got their full hollow lows, and I do have the hard bushings in them, which for Ace I think are really great. They're not hard like a normal hard bushing would be. They almost feel like, I don't know, like a normal like thunder bushing or something like that. Like they're still soft feeling. Kingpin clearance is like it's actually pretty good on the lows. It's not too bad. I did some feebles and I didn't touch my kingpin at all. So I might invert them, but it might be hard with the lows because I think like all the height was taken out of the base plates on these. So the kingpin I think is shorter. So I think if I put in a inverted kingpin, it would probably stick up too far anyways. So I might just leave them as is. But yeah, so always riding mob grip. I do have the Ace hollow hardware, not for weight. I just wanted to try it because it had the little teeth on it. So you can kind of just use one, just this side of the tool, and the teeth part will grip into your board or whatever, which is kind of rad. It's nice only having to use one tool. These bees keep messing with me. But yeah, so that's my setup. That's what I'm riding right now for curbs. This has been really good. This whole setup feels great right now. Normally I change out boards like every 3 weeks, and I'm gonna ride this one till it's done. So I'm trying to get a couple months out of it. See if I can get 2 months out of it. And yeah, these are great boards. If you want one, go to Switch Nolly. Go to their Instagram page, see if they've got any in stock. I think they just like, you just DM them and they'll ship one because they just started their whole thing. But they're based out of like the Venice area, Venice Beach, California. So anyways, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Something a little different, not just tripod clips. My homie Kevin was here getting some clips. He's mad, he's not landing stuff. So anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys want to see next. If you want to see more of these videos, if you want to see like just a session video. I don't know if people are getting kind of burnt out on the trick tips and stuff. I'm happy to do them because I like doing that, but this was fun, like doing this. So anyways, I'll catch you guys next time.